Hello, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, the executive producer here, and I've got a few pre-show notes for you. First, a reminder. All of the content we produce is available on our website at finalshowfilms.com, as well as youtube.com/senstaku, senstaku.podbean.com, twitch.tv/senstaku, and on iTunes. We are only able to do the things we do thanks to the kind support of our Patreon donors. We give a special shout out to our $25 tier supporters, Antitonic and Waterflame. If you'd like to support us that way, be sure to check it out. Secondly, a thank you to the folks over at 411mania.com. They produce articles and content related to wrestling, MMA, movies, music, and gaming. Go check them out. We appreciate their support as well. And lastly, be sure to subscribe, comment, and rate, if possible, wherever you listen to or watch our content. It helps us know what you like, what you don't like, and helps us make more content. Feedback is always appreciated. With all that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy. We're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Afterlight Skies, where Aaron totally forgets to have a script. Most weeks, let's be honest. So, this week, our heroes find themselves still divided into two factions of the party. One having come back with limited success from their efforts to find the missing droid rerun, and one having encountered some snags in the Empire Conquest win everything plan. Which actually was much better planned out than that made it sound.
Also, technically, we succeeded.
So far.
Our survival was never part of the plan.
Introductions and role things. Starting with John.
John, I am, for now, playing Sensaku, the Ichani Seeker. And roll Destiny. What do I get? I got 2 light.
There we go. Now
Yay!
we're off on the right.
For all the good it'll do for me.
And Jeremy?
I am Jeremy. I am playing Lux, the Zeltron hacker person. Oh wait, that was the wrong thing.
I'm just gonna flip that back to you real quick.
You do that. I got one light side.
Yeah. 3 light.
We're already
Cody?
better than last week.
I'm Cody. I'm playing Praz, the Zabrak Commando, also rolling Destiny now. Too dark.
There it is.
And
Yep.
Kat,
There we go.
tie us up.
All right, I'm Kat. I'm playing Powder, the surgical droid. Sang. I got us 1 dark side, so I did indeed
Wow.
tally us
Yeah,
up.
balance.
Perfect balance.
The Force
There you go.
sets into balance with poor and good omens aplenty. As Destiny pulls these two groups closer into alignment.
Or a
Now, in a not necessarily remote Imperial base ship, Lux and Sen.
Yup.
The door opened, didn't it?
Yes.
Door opened.
Yeah, I'm not stepping out, but I move over to the doorway and look out and see what the situation is outside.
You can see into what looks like the interior of a ship beyond you.
Can I tell if we're still on planet or in space?
You cannot see outside from this angle.
Looking around, do I see any of my belongings?
No, because they probably No.
Okay.
They don't do the thing where your belongings are directly next to you. That's for the rebellion.
Yeah. Well, you know. So just sort of leaning against the wall next to the door, but not going through it. Holding my side because I am still severely injured.
Lux, as a reminder, you can see into this room.
Mm-hmm. And I am not yet in it.
Well, you can see into this room from an
Oh, yes,
identical.
the room that
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. And so, continuing the conversation that we were having previously. So, whoever you are, let me pose you a hypothetical statement. Say you were the Empire running an operation in which you had in your opportunity a Jedi and someone else that you really, really wanted. You had one of them in captivity already, and another one of them was offering themselves up to let the other one go. What do you do in that situation?
If I'm you or if I'm the Empire?
If you're the Empire.
I mean, if I'm the Empire, I'm smart. And I realize that there are other factors in play, and that it's better to get one of us than to get none of us.
Or, you know that the one you've already captured has been severely injured in the capturing, and doesn't have the strength or energy to run away for very long. So you let him go, securing the capture of the healthier and far more able to run away one, and then simply reacquire him moments later after the door has slammed on the other.
Gee, it's almost as if I hadn't thought of that possibility and have already expressed I'm not entering this room until you are free. And I don't mean walking right out the door.
I am not going to make it far.
Well, that's your problem. My problem... Actually, I don't really have a problem right now. Look, just do it.
And Sen, again, you can hear this ethereal voice near you. Oh, are you trusting her now?
I'm just ignoring it. I'm not making it off this ship, no matter what happens. I have already accepted that. You have a
Well,
chance.
not with that attitude, you're not.
Listen to me. You have a chance. Take it.
This is my problem to fix. It's not yours. You have other problems to fix right now.
Well, you're going to have to fix them for me then.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Is there some way to mute it at the moment? Is there some way to mute or...
If it makes you feel any better, you were right.
Do you ask that out loud?
No, I'm looking at like the...
So the data pad itself is within the room.
Okay.
So you don't have a remote.
Turn this off for a moment.
If you're sure.
Just
Gave you
for
the
a
proof
moment.
you asked for.
Just for a moment.
Fine. And it will wink out.
Okay.
John or Sen cannot determine any difference at this time.
All right. So between you and I, you know, and I know that the information has been retrieved and that its continued existence is depending on this deal going through.
You
does-
stipulated you did not want him any further harmed. I can't just poof him out without any harm.
He doesn't yet know that. And I'm keeping it that way because if he finds out, I know that he is more of a liability to you.
Okay. Reasonable.
Stun his ass, drop him somewhere. Put him in a hotel. I don't care. Get him off that ship, or you don't get your plans, and you don't get me.
If we stun him, will you still cooperate?
Yes, of course. Stun, not kill. Stun. And I know you know how to. I know that you're capable of doing that.
Fine. You. Well.
This actually works out
You-
well.
While that conversation is going on, is the door still open?
Yep.
I just want to look out and see what can I see from the doorway.
You can see sort of the aisle racks of a ship. A few blinking lights. This area blinking like indicator lights.
Are there any floor grates?
None that are human sized.
None that like go to like a maintenance layer underneath the floor?
No human sized floor grates that you can see.
Okay.
There is of course probably some level of access to a maintenance grate, but just like hand access.
Could I determine, just with my general knowledge of ships, could I determine where the more vulnerable system aspects of the ship are?
Typically
where's the
around the
circuit breaker, things like that?
engines, which you're not entirely sure what kind of ship you are in.
Can I determine if there's can I see like a clearly marked cockpit door or pilot's area door?
No, not from your angle.
And there's is there any furnishings at all, or is it just an empty ship bay, other than the thing I'm in?
It wouldn't necessarily have any furnishings. It's an empty hallway, would be more accurate.
Okay.
Can sort of see a hallway stretching out in front of you. Maybe to the sides, it's a little hard to see from inside of a tube, and a wall sort of on the far end of that hallway that presumably splits off into more of the ship.
Okay, and there's no grating on the floor, walls, or ceiling. Okay.
Not that you can tell.
All right. I will lean back in, twirling that glass in my fingers still.
Yeah.
Wait for this door to close.
Yeah.
We're both such assholes.
You kind of are. And like sort of as you seem to settle back a bit, the voice comes back. You know you can't trust her. If that's even her out there at all.
I am one with the Force, and the Force is one with me.
So, well,
We
things
both know that one's a lie.
It's a hopeful prayer.
Oh, yeah.
Never was more than a prayer.
Well, I hope you get your prayer and find yourself cursed like I am.
Sounds like you're having a good time.
Be nice? And so at some point during this, Lux, the video will click back on.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, this is going
how
on.
much of your strain threshold do you actually have left?
I am at 10 out of 12 strain and 12 out of 13 wounds.
Ooh.
I am completely fucked up.
They could gas the room if they needed to.
Yes.
I'm assuming.
Yes, they can. It's more of a fiddly mechanics thing than a fiddly, like, actual challenge thing.
I like that Lux actually trusts that once I'm unconscious and elsewhere, they're not just going to ship me right back to this place.
Oh, she doesn't, but this is the best chance since you're being a stubborn prick. So while I see it go on and I see things start to happen, I am going to try to subtly place those charges that I have.
Okay.
Along the side of the door.
Make me a skullduggery check.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's on this computer. Yeah, this is gonna flip it. I'm gonna be flipping a point here. Because this is an important one to succeed on. Skullduggery. I'm not terrible at that. Div 2 or 3. Okay, 2. Okay.
Sen, you do start to feel a little hazy, as maybe it's your injuries or maybe it's just sitting down.
Is the door still open?
It's like a little bit foggy. Door's still open.
There's 2 successes and an advantage.
Fuck. And I'm gonna, while I'm still conscious, I'm gonna start walking out the hallway. Or walking out the door.
Make me a...
Resilience?
Yeah, make me a resilience. This is difficulty... Oh, technically this is a difficulty 4 check.
Alright, difficulty 4 resilience. I'm gonna use a light side.
Flipping a dark side.
I just realized how important
I used it first.
Yes, unfortunately I can still use it.
I know. Difficulty 4 resilience check. I am one with the force is one with me. I am the one with the force is one with me.
You feel the blessing of Praz.
2 successes and fuck ton of threats.
All of them, all the threats.
Holy
1,
shit.
2, 3, 4,
6.
5, 6 threats and 2 successes.
Given what I can do with threats on resilience checks, you start sort of stumbling out of this room. And once you're out of the room itself, there's like a psychic like light. Everything becomes slightly lighter on your mind, but you're still sort of stumbling and struggling. And you make it most of the way down this hallway, look around the corner, spot what does look like a cockpit room as you sort of start to crumple over.
Am I still conscious or am I passing out?
You're passing out. You have maybe a round before you are entirely passed out.
I am going to... I can't do that because I can't... I don't have any wounds left to do that with. Can I just take a moment and focus and just try to keep myself awake and moving? That whole Jedi
you can make me
resiliency
another
thing?
resilience check. It's difficulty 4 again with a setback die this time.
All right. I'm
You can
I'm
do
flipping
it.
a light side.
I'll let you have that.
A triumph. No success, no
Advantage.
Not a
failures.
triumph.
Sorry,
but
an advantage, not triumph. Sorry, an advantage.
with an advantage, you make it a little further down, but you're not able to keep this up for too long, and you do feel again for the second time today, or third time today, I'm sorry, fading to black.
Do I make it into the cockpit before I pass out?
Just about. You sort of slide open the cockpit door and fall through it.
Okay, so there's no way I can accidentally flail and lock the cockpit as I'm hitting the ground.
Probably not.
That would be
Good
the attempt, but
You see like feet and movement around you. Yeah, good effort, optimism. As that fades out.
Yep.
Lux, the cameras. There's still a camera inside of that room, but as Sen left,
It was following.
others,
yeah.
following him.
You. Good effort, dude. Good effort. So yeah, I got 2 successes and an advantage on my skullduggeryness. So ideally, I am trying to place them in such a way that well, I think my plan is obvious at this point.
You want to blow either yourself or your component.
Once I'm locked in, blowing the door open and attempting a desperate escape.
Mm-hmm.
Failing that, maybe I'll get lucky and it'll blow the whole ship up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just sitting there waiting at the moment.
Let's see. Okay, so that's going to be opposed with vigilance. Okay.
I got an advantage over him.
You did. Though he had a setback die for some reason. We'll see how that shakes out. So you sort of shove these charges. There's no obvious sign from either the corpse next to you or your former colleague over the phone that you've been noticed. Well,
all right. Well, we're off to a good start here.
and you can see a few people like just cuffing Sen, not necessarily roughing him up any further, but he's unconscious at this point.
Is the cuffing really necessary if you're going to be putting him somewhere? You're not engendering trust here. That's what you do.
I feel like I haven't said this enough. Jedi.
I'm just saying cuffs is what you do to someone you are detaining, not someone that you are letting go.
No, shit. Really? You hear a sarcastic
In this
voice in your head.
instance, it's a precaution in case he wakes up and starts getting upset.
All right. Well, I'm not going anywhere. As soon as I see him left in Someone somewhere. As soon as I see evidence of him left somewhere where y'all aren't, I will happily step inside.
Meanwhile, the ramp drops and 4 stormtroopers with stun blasters walk in.
Boop! Oh, I'm sorry. Step inside. Boop!
Reasonable. And we'll scene cut over to Cody and Pratt, or Cody and Praz. Well, that too, but Cody and Powder, or Praz and Powder.
Praz and
Fuck,
Powder.
I'm sorry, Cody.
That's fine.
It's kind of doesn't. It's kind of hard both ways because you have Cody and Cat and Praz and Powder.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That is exactly the
Yep.
problem.
That is the problem.
Whoa, I'm in Star Wars, guys. Oh God, I'm in Star Wars.
You're the first. You're
Yeah,
the guy in
have
the band
fun.
that loses an arm to a lightsaber.
Yep.
So, Praz and Powder, you have just said your goodbyes to Helix and you're waiting. The plan you had was to meet up with Lux and Sen here once both sides were done with their missions. Granted, Lux and Sen had slightly more challenge, but you also had a few days sort of head start on them. So this should be about the time at which you were hoping to meet up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we have yet to see them or hear from them at all.
Yeah. Do we have a specific place that we were going to meet up besides just here at
No.
Crossroads?
Just here.
Well, I guess I'll take a walk through the spaceport or through the space docks and see if there's any new ships that look imperially.
And I will
Look-
take the
look of
100
Imperial
credits that Praz gave me and see about finding new tools for Durius to use.
Okay.
Or any
Mhm.
ships coming from the general area of my colony.
It's not publicly advertised where ships are coming from.
Yeah. I was probably going to try to grease the dockmaster.
Okay.
Guy that runs
You can
the guy
find
that
the
runs the
dockmasters
shipyard.
easily enough.
You have to go buy some grease though.
So, yeah, I'll just ask him casually if any new ships came in from. I have the name of my planet written down.
Yeah, you
Ionis.
still need to tell me
Yep,
what it is.
I wrote it in the chat last week, but I have it. It's right at the top. If any from Ionis have shown up, I'm waiting for some friends.
You can make me a. Can always
Charm.
try. You can make me a. This is going to be a charm roll, difficulty of 3.
All right. Two threats. No failures or successes.
Oh, without any failures. You know, but you look like you're experienced enough to know I ain't gonna tell you shit either way.
Not even for a few
They're long
credits.
before you get in trouble for sticking your nose in whatever verbount you think you can grab, mercenary.
All right. Not even for a few credits.
He sort of looks at you.
I'm just looking for planet name. planet of origin.
You've never been to Crossroads before, have you?
I've never talked to you while I've been here. Never mind.
Take my advice.
Yeah, I'm going. And I'll walk away.
Praz, as you would know and remember, Crossroads is an interfaction in
anybody
where
snitches on anybody else, they're not allowed back.
Snitches is a...
Well, yeah. Anybody shares information on anybody else.
No, information sharing is fine. It's... The culture of Crossroads is very much the people who run it are in charge and run it very clean for something that where Hutts and Black Sun people meet with Imperial delegations.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a place where typically greasing the wheels is going to be very easy.
I guess I'll just...
And the asking something like that could get you emphatically uninvited back if you left at all.
I'll just go look... I'll try to catch up to Powder and get some supplies to fix the ship that I kind of mauled.
All right. What are you two looking for in specific?
I'm just looking for any tools that Durius could use to fix the ship. I would have asked him if he anything specific that he thinks he might need.
No, Durius was not.
He basically said anything that we could get would help. So
yes, that is essentially how he communicated it. Yeah. Now I'm asking you guys as the players what tools you are looking for, if any.
As a player, I don't even know what exists. So
okay, well that's still in the ships and vehicles section and still in the gear section.
I'm looking through the gear right now. I don't need, I think any gear that's in the actual book. I just need supplies to repair the stuff that I grinded through and welded shut and things
that would be in ships and vehicles. There is a section on repairing.
Is that in the main book?
Yes, all of this is in the main book.
What page on the PDF is that? Do we know?
232 is where...
Thank you. Yep. It's the only problem with having a PDF version.
I mean, it's a problem with your PDF reader, but same difference.
Yep.
You know what? We're going to transition back because I was expecting this to happen over the week. You get... It's fine. It's fine. It's just typically if you want to buy stuff, know what you want to buy. So transitioning back, Lux, it's... After a few hours, the scene of the visuals do change.
Okay.
It shifts to essentially not quite a GoPro, but similarly a surveillance camera with one of a personal camera view.
Stormtrooper body cam.
Helmet cam. I have it.
Stormtrooper body cam. Designed for surveillance. Exclusively.
What are you saying?
To people that are working with delegations on Coruscant so they can they can spy on the representatives.
Are you saying that the Empire is not worried about transparency? Okay, anyways, sorry. I'm a terrible person.
Yeah, you are.
So yeah, I'm assuming it's him getting dropped somewhere.
You see outside, as in your ear, voice rattles off, this is a small world, not officially an imperial colony, but much closer but more efficient than far off reaches that would be challenging or risky to transport him to anyway, and within the same
absolutely
sector, but outside of the system, able to support a variety of biological life, mostly a few small cities, including this one, and farming communities.
Mm-hmm. All right.
While they're nominally independent, they do so under the protection of the huts, as this is typically considered to be a waypoint on several trade routes.
Okay.
And basically outside the city, you see them uncuff Sen's unconscious body, jab a needle into him and
run. Run away from the Jedi before he wakes up.
It's not run away from the Jedi. It's we know how long until the Jedi regains consciousness, calmly walk away before he does so.
Yes. All right.
And a token of good faith to ensure your cooperation. As a lightsaber is tucked back into Sen's belt.
My belt that's on Lux's, that's currently on Lux's waist.
They gave you a new belt?
Your pocket, whatever.
All right.
I didn't want to just have them chuck it at your head.
They leave out of your chest. 5 minutes later, somebody walks by. I can sell this.
Do I happen to wake up before they leave? Supernatural resilience things of Jedi.
You would like to wake up before the ship has fully left. That would definitely be within the purview of, I'm going to remind you guys, because I feel like I don't do this enough, you can use force points for things other than enhanced rolls.
I'm going to use a light side point to see if I can wake up before they leave.
Yep. Sen, you sort of pull yourself to consciousness, feeling the metal of your lightsaber next to you, as, like, sort of squinting in the distance, you can see a few Imperial pilots walking off, maybe towards a ship.
Have I regained any amount of strain or wounds?
I'll say you've regained 1 strain and 1 wounds at this time, which is just enough to drive you awake. The medicine they injected you with is still doing its job. It's not immediate.
So am I at 12 out of 13 and 11 out of 12, or am I at 1 from where I was before I passed out?
On strain, you are 1 below your maximum.
11 out of 12.
On wounds, you are, you are down 1 from where you were.
Okay, so 11 on both sides. All right, about to get fun and probably dead. Yeah, no, I'm gripping lightsaber.
Okay.
Taking.
They are currently at long range from you.
No, that's fine. I'm not. Am I inside a building or am I outside of a building? What am I?
You're just outside on the street, covered in dirt.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, in that case, I'm going to...
And you can see a ship that looks like it's prepping for takeoff.
Okay. I'm going to try to quickly and quietly get to that ship.
Okay, make me a
We are the dumbest people.
stealth roll.
You brought this on me, Lux. Okay.
And I am flipping a dark side point because
At some
you guys
point,
need your light side.
because at some point, reality just needs to say, "Screw you guys. You're both screwed. You're both boned."
What difficulty is stealth check?
Difficulty of 2, as it is a standard difficulty check. That's going to be opposed by
3 successes.
Okay, and that's typically good enough. Yeah, you're sort of sneaking up around the corner as 2 of these individuals seem to be. You're still a ways away from them because they are walking briskly and you're trying to stealth in a sort of open area.
Yeah.
But they walk onto their ship without seeming to have noticed that you're stealthing up and the ramp is starting to close.
I would like to run and jump up onto the ramp before it closes if possible.
Agility check. Difficulty of 3.
Would this apply with my... would I be able to make that a
If you want to force athletics, that
yes,
would also be applicable.
Yes, force athletics. That would be the request.
I would advise against taking strain, but it's always technically an option.
I can't actually. I'd just pass out. Difficulty.
I believe you can take strain that leads you to pass out, but yes, it would
leap in the air. Thump land on a slump on
what was the difficulty?
And these poor stormtroopers just put you back where you were. Difficulty of 3.
Okay. I'm going to use that light side again to upgrade.
I'm going to use dark side again. Keep your light side point.
I'm trying to do things.
Braz and Powder are like getting boba. I'm sure they're fine.
Does boba even exist in this world?
3 successes and an advantage.
It's the world I run. Boba exists.
3 successes and an
know.
advantage. They're light side. I don't have to take strain.
Yay!
God, man.
I am one with
Yes,
the Force. The Force is
so-
one with me.
You sort of
You know what happened the last time
stealthy
someone
approach.
chanted that?
Yes.
You abandon the stealthy approach because you can't do both of these things.
Yeah. No.
Just sort of dash, jump, and with your supernatural agility, 3-point land inside of this ship, confirming for yourself that this is the same ship you were in previously.
Mm-hmm.
Lux, I want you to roll me a D100, high or low, and then pick high or low.
To see if they notice me, or if they
Actually,
got to the
Lux D100, Powder, high or low.
Keep in mind, this is me.
So whatever you choose, it will be the opposite.
Yes. But,
I choose high.
okay.
95 is pretty damn high.
So, Lux, your camera view actually is showing that they are going back to the ship fully, and presumably will cut off once they're going into hyperspace. But full disclosure, you see the telltale signs of a door closing behind. and then a what the fuck as they turn around because a Jedi just 3-point landed
And
in their
lightsaber in their face.
God, you fucking idiot.
Okay,
Because I'm stealing this fucking ship.
go.
Of course, that's what I just did is what happens in Lux's head. He just okay. And is waiting to see if there's any response.
Damn it!
You're a little bit trying to get around the edge of the door as it closes still, and the strike just goes wide as now there's 4 blasters trained on you.
That's fine.
Just because I'm sorry you're so injured that this is probably.
Can I spend my the light side point that I have to have them not prepared and fully off guard so that they aren't actually able to draw their blasters in this round?
Unfortunately,
because I don't think they were expecting me to suddenly appear. That's why I want to spend the light side.
They are not, but they're also Imperial Storm. I'll say you can spend that point for one of them to be, for the sergeant to be unprepared because he was the one uncuffing you and stuff.
Sure. Bit it.
Okay. So he has to pull out his thing. But the 2 stormtroopers with him, because typically when you're wandering around on a planet that is not 100% under Imperial control, and even when you are,
they're going to get 15 successes and blow me away because that's how combat works in this game. I roll failures and you roll successes.
You see why I'm worried about combat with you guys sometimes?
Oh no, it's not even about combat. It's
very
just
deadly.
Specifically my luck, my roll luck, where I roll nothing but failures and advantages, and you roll nothing but successes.
It's technically difficult range of engage, so the difficulty is.
Does it really matter?
Actually, the difficulty is 3 because they have an ally in range. Stormtroopers are not as powerful as surgeons. Imperial surgeons. I mean, that's true too. They're known for being bad at aiming, and that holds true at this time.
So Alex is casually walking up to the cockpit, so you can try and see what's going on at this, or try and listen in and see what's going on over communications to determine what she's going to do next.
You are not in the same ship, just as a
No, I'm aware, but I'm still in the ship with.
You're hearing blaster fire, though.
Yes.
I assume.
Yeah.
That's I'm trying to see.
Just
basically.
from this.
Yep.
Okay. Are you going to the cockpit as opposed to like the screen you have that is showing this to you?
Is the screen currently still showing it? Because
yes, that's what the D100 roll was.
Okay. Okay.
Is that the stream had not yet cut off? It was just a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
And at this point, they're leaving it on.
God damn it.
So I would like to.
Okay. So now I'm walking up to the cockpit, setting the tablet aside, and I'm going to try to take off with the ship because I don't think that he's going to make it through this.
You would have noticed that the blaster bolt that missed was technically on stun.
We'll see. She's not taking off yet.
You're walking up towards the cockpit.
It's going to take a while. I'm assuming by the time I get up to the cockpit, yeah, we'll see.
The next round of combat has happened.
Yeah.
What you doing, Zen?
I'm going to aim.
Okay.
And swing again.
Go ahead.
I know these dice have successes on them.
You rolled some of them.
Yeah, I just also rolled failures.
Yeah.
Because the purple dice roll nothing but failures.
And threat.
Yeah, well, I rolled 2 advantage.
So you are. This actually kind of fits. Even being healed and you're exhausted physically, spiritually, and mentally, and your blade is just not as steady as you would like.
That's fine. I'm operating off rage right now. It's fun.
Yeah, you're kind of doing the barbarian thing where you're still up even though you're dead.
Yeah.
And a failure to that. Yeah. Okay. He misses.
I'm just. It's like I'm just
Slap
deflecting blaster bolts, and that's all I'm doing right now.
And one of these mooks is just like, God damn it. Pulls out his gun, shoots once, puts it away. Because 2 successes does mean it hits.
Yeah, and I have no way of defending against it, so.
Yeah, you don't have enough strain to deflect.
So that's 10 points of damage.
As you're stunned again, and the voice comes over the comms. You see why I insisted on restraining him. I'm sure he can get cuffs removed quite easily.
Okay, fine.
He's
still alive?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, fine.
Marginally.
Go for that. The case restraint's fine. Just. I don't work with people who are easy to work with. I think you may have noticed that.
Indeed.
If only these goddamn dice
I am
roll
taking
successes.
the opportunity while I'm in the cockpit to sort of push the unconscious form that is in the cockpit away from the door. When explosions happen, hopefully he doesn't die.
Okay. I left roll 20. Right, 10. Now you wake up again, just feeling all of that hangover and so much pain. And this time, the ship is already in the sky. You can see it retreating further and further from you. As you are cuffed with the lightsaber.
Is it in my hands?
What are you gonna do?
You can grab it.
I'm just gonna use it to cut the cuffs off.
Oh.
Yes, you can. You can break the cuffs open with a lightsaber, yeah.
And I reach for my comm link, but I don't have it because it was one of the many things that's on my belt currently around Lux's waist.
Uh-huh.
And I just look up in the sky and just yell at the top of my lungs, "You're a fucking idiot, Lux!"
One of us has more of a chance of rescuing the other.
Helix. Sorry.
He can roll successes.
This is true.
Just because William has had weirdly good dice luck when he's cameoed.
I can't roll successes for shit, but William can.
And as you scream that into the distance, a Twi'lek woman comes up to you, seemingly having wandered out of the town. Well, I'm glad to know you're angry at the sky.
Look up at her.
Should I run the headline, "Old Man Yells at Cloud," or are you going to come in?
First of all, I'm not old. The hair is genetic.
I'm 37. I'm not old. Sorry.
He's 34.
Come on. You look hurt.
It's a Monty Python line. Come on.
And he gets up, and he makes no attempt to hide the lightsaber. He stands up with it in his hands.
Yep. At this point, she doesn't seem to be prioritizing that unless you try and stab her.
No, I'm not trying to stab her.
Yeah.
I'll follow her in.
Okay.
All right, so meanwhile, all right, well done.
I trust you're still upholding your end of the bargain.
I am going right into that room now.
Okay.
So I walk
The
in.
tablet is still there.
Okay.
As soon as you step past the door shuts behind you, and this circle of lights, these blue lights that before you were just like, that's a little bit of a weird aesthetic, now just feel omnipresent in the absence of other lighting.
So I've never known you to be much of an aesthetic. What's this about?
Curiosities and conveniences of working with contractors.
Okay. All right, what's next?
Unfortunately, what's next is you tell me everything you know.
Okay. About what specifically? You're gonna have to.
Let's
You're gonna
start
have
with
to
the
narrow that
information
down.
you have on Mr. Ross's experimentation.
Oh, the cloaking.
Indeed. I hope you're not going back on your word.
I am not going back on my word. I am going to give you everything I have on it.
Okay.
It is so he was developing it at this place. I don't have all the details memorized. I don't have an eidetic memory. I do have where I'll pull out that a USB drive.
It's a floppy, but okay. Look, it's Star Wars. Floppy disk or a mini floppy at best.
It's all the details are on here. But essentially, it was something that he was developing at this locale. Didn't want anybody. Decided that nobody should be trusted with it, and he tried to go hiding. We found him. There are a lot of people looking for him right now. And as near as I can tell, so he got it working at least as far as a personal cloaking device. I haven't looked at it well enough to know if he's gotten it to ship level yet, but it's right here. So if you'd like, I can open it up and start dictating the details, but we're going to be here a while, I think, and I'm going to mispronounce a lot of words. But it'll be here when you show up. So beyond that, what's next?
Many things that unfortunately I'm not at liberty to discuss with prisoners. It's a shame. Really did hope you might be cooperative. But I suppose this works just as well.
Cooperative-ish. I am being as cooperative as I am capable of being right now. I don't know what more you want from me at the moment than what I'm doing.
At the moment, I have no further there any heat?
Okay.
Be happy to discuss your cooperation after processing. And at that ominous note, we're going to transition back over. Sen, it takes you time, maybe a few days. It turns out that the woman who met you is named Talik. She's a decently talented, but not. She's a decently talented medic and managed to help you recover. She also doesn't necessarily manage to coax the story out of you, but manages to get some level of indication of where you're coming from and where you need to go. Almost without you realizing it when you're tired at odd times. And sort of by the time you've recovered enough to be fully aware of what's around you, you're on a ship docking on like a passenger transport docking into Crossroads and stumbling down the deck into this sprawling labyrinthine mismanufactured ship.
I look for a ship that we bought a while ago.
Okay. Wandering back and forth through the docks, you do eventually go, oh yeah, it's that one. Sort of noting the weirdly torn off paint job, and the presence of Powder, who seems to be walking back towards the ship at this time. Powder, this is actually a full day since you guys have said goodbye to Helix.
Okay.
You've sort of kept holding pattern. Confirmed for yourself that, like, the establishment of this ship, unless you are paying very nicely for, like, a private room or a message to be delivered, are not going to let you know who else might or might not be here, just on...
That was all Prez. Powder was...
Yeah,
no.
Powder was perfectly fine to just stay here forever.
Yes. You notice Sen walking up. Lux is not with him.
You are alive.
I walk
That
past
is good.
Powder into the ship towards the cockpit.
Okay.
Does Sen still look screwed up beyond belief?
Sen has recovered all of his wounds and strain levels at this point.
Okay.
Beyond that, that's up to John.
I
Okay.
mean, he's wearing a very ragged-looking flight suit that has definitely been damaged in blaster fire.
But as long as you don't look screwed up.
And his lightsaber's just dangling at his hip, not hidden and he's not wearing his normal belt, so. He's also missing a pistol and a Lux, but you know.
Well, Powder will follow him into the ship then.
I'm actually missing all my weapons. The lightsaber is the only weapon I still have.
I know this wasn't the intent, but I like the implication that Lux is one of the weapons.
Yeah. And I immediately pull up any information I can find on whether or not brand new cloaking technology has been distributed by the Empire. They're parading around their new stealth ship fleet or anything that might show up like that.
And Powder will immediately. And Powder will bring him a glass of water.
I do not touch it. What roll?
At this time, you're pushing past, so the mild repairs and still disrepaired nature of the ship just looks like what it's always, the rattiness it's always had to you.
What was the roll for looking up information?
Knowledge underworld difficulty of 3.
Right.
They're gonna parade around their stealth. Here it is, and it's just an empty sky.
That's what the U.S. military does. The Empire's
Yeah.
got more class.
Failure into advantage. I assume I don't find anything.
With the failure into advantage, unfortunately, even the Empire isn't stupid enough to broadly announce,
No.
we made a stealth ship.
No, I didn't figure they would, but just in case,
You did
because
a
I'm
thing.
not a hacker.
None of the propaganda
Also-
networks that you would check for Imperial declarations have we apprehended an
Actually, yeah, I do. Are there any public executions of Jedi being scheduled currently?
not that you notice with that check, no.
No, that would
Also,
be a different
they
role.
actually they have to actually have the technology.
That is the other part.
Sin doesn't know they don't have it.
I know. I'm aware.
Praz, you arrive back maybe half an hour after that.
Okay. Just see.
Powder will
Sen
just kind of
and
point
Powder.
at Sen.
You look like shit.
I continue. I'm looking to see if I can find any information that I know I don't have the skills or the contacts to find where Lux is. So I'm looking for any report. I have an idea of where I can find that information, but I'm trying not to go there just yet. I'm looking for any reports I can find of conflict in between the Imperial forces and insurgent forces, so that I can find someone that might be able to find the information I need.
I'm gonna say knowledge outer rim, difficulty of 2.
And Powder will walk over to Praz. He has not said anything, and he has not
That's right.
had his water. There is something wrong.
Yeah. I'll walk up. I'll let you describe whatever came of that
yeah,
roll.
sure. With just a threat, you don't necessarily find anything either way. Obviously, there's always reports, but it's hard to sift through what might be baiting or misinformation.
So, as Praz tries to get closer, the lightsaber comes up and ignites as if he's about to cut through the computer, and then stops.
Hold that. You're gonna fuck something up. You don't want to break anything on the ship. It's already so close.
Turns it off, puts it back on his
What?
belt.
What happened to you, and where's Lux?
And he sort of leans down, puts his face in his hands for a moment.
From that groan, I'm gonna guess shit has hit some fans. What happened?
Lux is an idiot.
We knew that.
Occasionally, they make the better decisions of all of us, but what was the idiot decision this time?
Well,
They're not-
as far as I know, Lux had our engineer scot-free, and rather than continuing on with getting him away and getting herself away, she decided to trade herself, and she decided to trade herself for me.
That does sound like her.
Well, I know one place I
What-
can go to find out where she is, and I hit the navigation computer and start plotting a course for Nar Shaddaa.
Okay. Sen, one thing you do instantly think of is, in terms of places that might have information on things, Crossroads is not a bad place to start. And Nar Shaddaa doesn't typically leave.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not necessarily the best place or the only place to be, but
I still plot. I'm not leaving right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and have the Navi computer running the calculations to get from
Yep,
here to Nar
okay.
Shaddaa. And I turn around. So, have you guys found Rerun or anything useful here?
Turns out, if you say he
Well-
might be on Narshadop, no, we don't have him.
Right.
We do have
Yeah.
some new guests who may know something, but I am not good enough with computers to figure out the eccentricities of the droid that may know.
We basically took some more droids, hoping that they would know something about Tunguska's gang operations, that we might be able to track him down.
Why would
'Cause-
the droids that he has restraining bolts on know anything about his operations?
Not specifically his operations, just stuff about his ship so that we could find the ship.
Were they on his ship?
I think at one point they ran maintenance. Some droids were cycled through. The
You know that droids can have their memories wiped and
Yeah.
regularly do, right?
yeah, the one that we were
I am
hoping
fully
Lux would
aware.
take a look at is
That was directed at Praz more than anything else.
Yeah.
That's fine. I am fully aware. But as it has been occurred to me via my own mind, it does not always take properly. Let me show you. Please keep your lightsaber off, and I will go get Rainbow Butterfly Sunshine.
Yep. Happily we'll wheel along. Probably take the wrong corridor a few times, but get there eventually. Sen, there is this clearly a little bit battered and broken yellow droid.
We match.
Yeah. They'll just twirl around a few times. Look. And then starts doing circles around Powder.
I look up at Powder. And
Rainbow, what do you know of Rerun?
Rerun.
so
The alpacas are really cool. I want to see more alpacas.
So it knows his name, or the word Rerun, which actually has other meanings.
It knew his name before I said it.
Rerun is a word that exists in BASIC. That does not necessarily just mean the name of Rerun.
Look. And Powder is going to kind of walk up to you. I am not equipped for this.
I know.
Drink your water. And Powder will turn around and walk away.
Tunguska left Narshada a few days ago, and I'm thinking I'm thinking somebody from Offworld picked up Rerun, told Tunguska, and Tunguska left, and they met up somewhere
Or
because
using the 2-day head start, they had dropped him off with Tunguska, and then Tunguska left.
exactly.
Did you find out where his ship was? What the name of his
I
ship
tried
was?
to find that out. We talked to one of the recruiters, and they didn't know shit, and their handler above them wouldn't talk to them at their behest. So, bit of a brick wall.
Did you try the handler?
Yeah, I just said the handler wouldn't meet with.
No.
They-
Did you get information on who the handler was, where they normally operated out of?
I tried to get that information.
I need to go talk
The
to some
twins,
people.
they come around the racetrack regularly, if you don't
Yeah.
remember.
So you didn't hang out. Okay, we'll figure
Yeah.
that out later. I need to go find information, and I walk off the ship.
Yeah, I'll come with.
I will stay on the ship.
Right. Transitioning back to Lux, the comm has been dead for a little while, and this sort of psychic weight that's been on you the entire time you've been in this room, your force abilities are a little less physical, so you can feel the suppression more directly. Not that you're entirely used to your powers yet, but like that might be a rough guess of what you're experiencing.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Yep.
How long has it been about?
At this point, it's been maybe an hour.
Okay. Is there any indication whether the ship has taken off or not?
You haven't heard the engines, but
Okay, so
it's
probably not.
possible the room is soundproof, just not likely.
All right. Well, I got no.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that there is probably an army out there at this point, but fuck it. Why not? I'm gonna hit. I'm going to go over the data pad, try to open up the comm. Hello, is anybody actually there, or am I just chilling in here forever?
Not from like the comm in your ear or the data pad, but just sort of omnipresent in the room as though through a speaker. You hear a familiar voice.
Okay.
Oh, they left you in here with me. And you can hear Korich's voice. You don't think after everything you've done that I was just going to let you go.
Okay. How are you doing that?
After you manipulated and abandoned me?
That's not what happened. Doesn't mean I was right, because I wasn't. But that's not what happened. It's also not answering the question.
There are things worse than death that the Empire can do to those that get caught up.
And I'm sorry for that. So what happens from here? Because Sylvan's not saying anything. And frankly, I think I know what happens from that from that aspect, but what happens now?
I was going to wait a little longer to start until you got more antsy, but this is fine. And Lux, I need you to roll me a resolve check, difficulty of 3.
Resolve. Yeah, I'm sure I've got some of that. Where is resolve?
I believe it's resolve.
Resolve.
Oh, sorry, it's resilience.
Resilience. Okay. Oh no, that I well, I have dice to roll. Difficulty 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a success.
Yeah. With a success, you feel this raw barrage of, you might describe it as emotion if you weren't like already kind of keyed into that as a Zeltron. Just sort of hit you, almost blindsiding you physically. As you like take a breath and try and steady yourself, you can almost sense this swirling rage as it hits you. Disorienting, but at this point, there's no other negative effects.
All right. So yeah, she falls. She stumbles aside, grabs the chair to catch herself. Okay. Oh, fuck it. Boop.
All right.
Let's see how this
Someone's
works.
going to have to remind me if those charges have stats.
There are explosive charges that do have stats. Yes.
Yes, but I think Lux just jury-rigged something together, and I don't know. I don't exactly.
These were things that she got from the ship.
Right. In that case,
there are explosives as a weapons category in both Edge of the Empire and in Age of Rebellion. I don't know what type of explosives Lux found, but
okay, these are the things that Lux found. Okay,
yeah.
I just didn't remember because I was like, did you like rewire your grenades or?
Yeah, it was things that Lux had found.
Yeah. Let's see. You hear a large bang from the other side of the door, but the door doesn't seem to open. You can actually hear some commotion. You definitely caused damage.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this is reinforced against Jedi.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, at least you let that poor boy go.
Oh, do shut up. I start working over the data pad, and I'm going to try to use it to take control of this ship. I know it's not likely, but...
Computers difficulty 6.
Okay.
Which is for near impossible tasks.
Uh-huh. Thanks for leaving me light side points.
Thanks for, dropping me off on a random planet and not leaving when I told you to.
All right. Let me see.
Because you're the only one that can find people. By the way.
Got 4.
Mine doesn't work like that.
Well, whose problem is that?
Yours, currently.
All right, let's see how this goes. I'm going to re-roll that. I get 1 re-roll. Okay, well, I got 1 less threat.
Less threats. That is actually a better roll. Lux, you're sort of trying to get this data pad to do something, but it does seem like they've disconnected it from everything.
Well, you shitheads.
They turned off the Wi-Fi. Bastards.
They totally turned off the Wi-Fi.
It's Star Wars. Wi-Fi barely functions. They don't need to turn it off. They just need to stop the 10 years and tech crew it requires to have it run.
They put one little patch of tinfoil over the receiver.
Yeah. You cannot remotely fly the ship.
That's fine. I wasn't planning on remotely flying the ship. I was just planning on like using it to open the door. But in that case, I move over to the door.
Yeah.
I start looking for the access panels or any, because if somebody accidentally locks themselves in here, this is the Empire. I know they've built for that contingency.
Make me
You hope they built for that contingency.
a perception.
Okay.
Difficulty of 3. It's dark and you're looking for a door. Oh. Is this just another unexpected hiccup?
Oh no. You're being an asshole to me, so I'm going to be a pain in the ass to you. So that was a failure.
I was promised my revenge. I don't care if it inconveniences the ones outside.
Oh, I'm not saying that you don't deserve it. I'm just saying this was not part of my deal, and one significant, currently relevant situation in the past. Otherwise, I honor my deals. And when I don't get them honored back, I get testy.
It's going to be interesting for what happened to me to happen to you. Every bit of who I was just carved out with ice cream scoop.
We both made choices. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Lux, this, the door is on this part of the wall.
Uh-huh.
But it is indiscernible from the rest of the wall.
Can I get so it's reinforced? I can't find any access panel. Those damn lights. What are they plugged into?
It's hard to see. It seems like they're built into the ceiling, at least from this angle.
Cool. That gives me something to go off of, because one thing I never dropped was my blaster.
That's true. And also most of Sen's stuff.
Most of Sen's stuff. So she covers her eyes so she doesn't get glass falling down and blinding her, and fires up to bust one of those open.
I'm gonna say that's with 2 setback dice. Difficulty 1 because it's an object. 2 setback dice because you're firing blind.
Okay.
Relevant question: which gun are you using? Because you have mine too.
You had mine too, unless you lost that.
You have a carbine, your pistol, and my pistol.
Lux does not have Lux only has 1 pistol because one of the pistols was given to Ross.
Yes, and I gave the lesser pistol.
So you're using my pistol then, yeah.
Because that's a suicide weapon. You don't need the super badass blaster to suicide weapon.
Yeah.
Not
when you've got 4 wounds that you can take.
So
the damage 9 heavy blaster pistol.
Damage 9? Jesus Christ.
It's as much as my carbine.
Yep.
Oh, wait. Damage 9, not critical 9.
Critical 3.
Yeah. To advantage?
With 2 advantage, you fire. You miss the lights themselves, but you fire up into that array.
And then I'm immediately pointing at the door.
Okay. And you can sort of see the remnants of a shower of sparks. You're aiming at the door.
Because I know someone's about to come through it.
Okay. You can hear engines whirring on the ship.
Okay, nobody's coming through it. That's fine.
Not at the moment. Not during this round.
Is it how tall is the ceiling? If I jump up on the chair, can I get to the?
The ceiling is about like 3 feet above your head. I'll say, yeah, like standing on the chair, you can probably just reach.
Let's see if I can hotwire something to short out to something. I don't know.
Okay, make me mechanics.
Now
that you've blown apart some of the paneling.
Yep.
And at this point, I'm also going to need you to make me another resilience.
Okay. What's the difficulty on the mechanics?
Difficulty of the mechanics is 3 with a setback die because you're mostly doing this blind.
Okay. This will go well. Yep, that's about right.
You can find the cables, but like when you're trying to put it together, you like burn yourself a little bit and you're like, oh, fuck. That's not.
That's a failure on the resilience.
At this point, you do suffer 2 strain as another blast of this raw frustration.
You motherfucker.
Sit down.
Nope. Because one of 2 things is going to happen. Well, no, one of the 3 things. Either I'll get knocked unconscious, in which case I will not be in that much of a worse position than I am now. I'm not saying this. I'm verbalizing the mindset. 2, he's going to get angry enough that he's going to push too far and kill me, which is fine. Or 3, neither of those will happen. Eventually, I'll get out of this room. There is nothing that comes out worse that comes out better for me because I sit down. Yeah, no,
these chambers are specifically designed to hold people like you.
Oh, people like me. Now that just sounds racist.
I feel like it's more of a theological.
Is it? Is it though? I mean, come on, think about. Yes, this is pure distractionary tactics. Because
I am a soul that was forcibly removed from my body by violent means. Your flesh concerns of political violence are no longer really relevant.
Yeah, and I was a little girl who who did one thing and then got pressed into being brainwashed into service. We've all got problems. I'm just saying, and as this is going, I'm still trying to.
Yeah, make me another mechanics check.
This is never gonna work, but
it could do something. Probably not much.
That's a failure at 4 threats.
Get shocked
with 4 threats. I'm gonna say you take a point of strain, as this time it really does kind of burn.
Fine.
And you can hear engines whirring again with the ship. Okay. Seems like you're at least in flight now.
What else do I have of yours?
You have my vibro knife. You have my blaster. You have my comm link. You have my
credits, I think.
You have my cred stick, yeah.
Yeah, that isn't any good.
And you have a silver hairpin of a Chani make that was in my belt.
Yeah, there's not. This doesn't have a normal lock on it. I mean, it'll take forever and a day, but can't vibro knives eventually cut through bulkheads?
See, forever and a day, but yes.
Theoretically.
Technically, eventually, sort of.
They do have Pierce. They do have Pierce 2. So
Mhm.
they cut through
Yeah.
two points of soak for every time they hit something.
Mhm. Yes.
And this one has a
it's
serrated
not
edge,
a
which makes it do more
slow
damage.
process, but
If you could critically
I'm gonna
injure
need a
Wolfhead.
second to think.
All my modified weapons are currently in Lux's hands.
My carbine has a scope. That's about and a crap. What's it?
Weapon. I didn't have a sling.
Yeah, sling. That's what I was. That's about it.
Is there any other open panels, open lights, anything?
You have pulled off a good portion of the paneling on the ceiling thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little table. There's the chair, and then in this sort of cylindrical chamber. You know where the door should be. You just weren't able to find it.
Okay, so the door has electrical locks on it, right? Electrical restraints.
That would be your assumption.
Well, I saw Sen in an identical chair.
Oh, the chair, yes. I thought you asked about the door having restraints.
No. I assume the door is electronic.
Okay.
So as awkward as that is, I'm going to start tracing my way along the chair, trying to find the power source for it.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and start doing it through the chair.
All right. Mechanics, difficulty of 3. Again, setback die because it's really hard to see in here.
You also just shot out the lights, so.
Yes, but I believe that also at least means that I'm not being
Uh,
quite as strongly force restrained. That does
Yes.
seem to be the case.
Yeah, I didn't have that option, so. I was thinking about trying to get up to the ceiling with the glass that I had and start.
Well, I didn't fail. I canceled myself.
There's definitely cuffs here, and they've definitely got some wiring that probably is used to shock people.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there are also cuffs that they are expecting prisoners to have some level of access to, so they're pretty well insulated from.
They send a current out. They do not receive current back.
Yeah. But you can continue to fiddle with those.
And after about
you're going to run out of options and be helpless. And then little by little.
I should just sit down and be helpless now.
Everything.
Now this at least gives me something to do. And then I pause and you know what? Fuck it, I gotta hit it at some point, and I'm gonna aim to where I hope the door will be.
Okay.
And fire. It's probably gonna bounce back and kill me, but that's fine.
Roll me a d20.
A d20? Okay.
I tried to commit suicide 3 times and failed. I really hope you succeed.
You didn't have a blaster.
I had a lightsaber, and I had many blasters. Thank you very much.
Okay. Can you plop the weapon stats down in?
It's somebody.
Hey, I've got it. Hang on.
Yeah, just whoever happens to have.
Actually, if I just roll it, it should give me.
Yeah, rolling it should work.
Hold on. There.
Okay. So you aim for where the door is, and the shot reflects off.
And I
It
dodge.
just sort of skirts you. I don't know if you had it on stun or not, but you take the appropriate damage type. You take 5.
Okay.
So 5 either wounds or strain, depending on. As most of the bolt is
Doesn't
either
have it on
absorbed or
stun.
reflected.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Guess what, Korik? You're not gonna get your revenge if I keep shooting myself. Somebody better get this fucking door open.
Well, you do realize that it's a lot more efficient to shoot yourself in the face. Directly.
Oh, I know. I'm giving you the opportunity to at least make this fun.
You dying in here would be incredibly fun for me.
Oh, but I'm sure it
Because
would be a
then
lot
you're stuck with
fun.
me forever.
I'm sure it would be a lot more fun to watch me struggle for it. And let's be honest, you don't really care about the soldiers who are out there.
And at that point, we're gonna actually take a quick break because
All right.
I ran over a little bit.
I'll be back in just a minute. And Wreck.
And welcome back, as two different kinds of rampages happen on different sides of the screen. Praz, Powder, Sen, I believe someone was going out for information.
Me.
Yep, and I went with him.
Praz following. I believe last week you said that there were people openly flying rebellion symbology on Crossroads.
Yes, comparatively, but yes.
I'm heading to them.
Okay. You just walk directly up to the nearest person with rebellion colors and the little logo that was totally used to be the Empire's before the Empire was like,
the Old Republic.
We need something slightly more oppressive for our regime.
Mm-hmm. Are they just like sort of standing around the marketplace, or is there like a headquarters thing or anything like that?
The nearest group of people that are probably just a group walking by.
Yeah, I head towards them. My lightsaber's still on my hip, like very openly visible, bouncing on my hip.
Fortunately, Crossroads is one of the few places where that is not a huge risk to you.
Yep. Also, I just don't care right now. I'm heading up to them with a clear intent to get to talk to them. I don't know how they react, but...
Okay. Someone from their group looks over, sort of glances at you, takes you in. Can I help you?
Yes, you probably can. I need to know if... Do you guys have any form of command structure, and if so, is anyone in command on this station currently?
No comment. As the two people behind him seem to whisper back and forth to each other.
Look, I could spend a long time convincing you that I am a friend and ally, and that I am worth trusting or dealing with, or some sort of bullshit like that, but let me shortcut it to this. I don't have time to do that. I have a friend who needs help, and I need to help her. And in doing so, I am going to carve a very large path of destruction through probably the nearest 3 Star Destroyers I can find that are flying Imperial flags. And I need information to do that. I'm not asking you to shoot anybody or talk to anybody. I just need to be pointed in a direction. And I don't have a lot of time.
Everyone wants to carve a path of destruction. It's just not the most productive way to go about liberating.
I don't give a fuck about liberating shit right now. I just need information. And I am, as you can probably see, not quite all there right now. I say, indicating the blaster holes in my outfit.
You'll just... a deep sigh. Leave your contact information. I'll see what I can do, I guess.
I give him the transponder, the communication code for the ship.
Okay.
Thank you. And I turn and walk back to the ship to wait.
Raz, you do anything?
I'll follow him back, but kind of just like look at the rebels and say, "Sorry," and then just we really need that information. He just got back. Yeah, sooner the better for everybody involved.
I like how Praz has suddenly become the I'm sorry one.
Yeah.
I feel like you all
the
split that
understatement.
role at different times and different contexts.
Yeah.
As we're walking back, Praz, do you know anybody on this place that sells armor?
No, I haven't been here that often, so I don't really know anybody here, but I'm sure I can find a place to look.
My cred stick is currently with Lux, who is currently in Imperial captivity. Do you mind looking to see if we can get some extra armor? Because I'm tired of being shot.
Yeah, I can do that. This is pretty handy as I tap on my own laminate armor that I have yet to use.
Also, oxygen masks would probably be helpful. Or sealed or armor that can have sealed helmets. Something, I don't know. Just expect to have space flooding into that ship at any point in time. Or to be boarding a ship that has space flooding into it. And I continue back to the ship.
Okay. I'll go look. Let me scroll. I'll look for armor. What do you have right now?
Padded
that
armor.
I would see.
I currently have padded armor. I'm not even necessarily thinking like laminate armor because that's really expensive, but what I'm actually thinking is adverse environment gear. Or things that might help us survive the vacuum of space.
Okay, yeah. I don't know how much, I'll see if there's anybody selling adverse environment gears with,
Here you can find anything, whether or not it's restricted, for basically market price.
Okay.
I don't know how much credit you have.
I have on me 255. I can. It's you have nothing.
We might.
I can see what Powder has.
We may not have enough credits for it, and that's fine. But this is just we need things we can't afford.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
I think between me and Powder, we can afford
Just
it.
for audience's sake, and for anyone that's not looking it up, adverse environment gear is 500 credits for.
Mm-hmm.
And all you know is that Powder has the 100 credits you gave them.
Yeah.
That's all you are aware of.
Yep.
A spacesuit is 100 credits, so if we actually could just get 2 of those, that'd be good.
Spacesuit?
Yeah. It's in gear.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, then I'll just look for... Oh, like an EVA suit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just look for a couple of EVA suits, or even... Yeah, I'll look for EVA suits instead of trying to, get helmets.
Okay. You said that's in gear?
Yeah. I'm looking for the description of them, but the price is on page 183. Spacesuit.
Yep, spacesuit right here. 100 credits. 31.
Why can't I find a description for spacesuits?
It's up by...
Oh, there it is. Spacesuits are vital for anyone who plans to travel in space. Spacesuits also come in handy when exterior repairs are needed between departure. It includes small thrusters to aid in movement, mag boots for adhesion and weightlessness, a comm link, and micro tool fittings. Like most suits, it also comes with repair packs to seal the suit, to seal suit tears or gasket leaks.
Yep.
It doesn't add any extra armor, but it would let us survive in space, or if we vented all the atmosphere from the ship.
Yes.
Yeah, I will buy 2 of those because, yeah. That was.
I'm now excited for Lux to be floating in a capsule in space.
I love how both of you are forgetting about
destroyed.
Durius and not caring.
Well,
yeah, there is a third.
I can get a third. I can get a third one. I just have to get my other credits from.
I mean, Powder, you don't have mag boots. You don't necessarily need to breathe, but you're not able to navigate. Just as a note that all of you would be aware of this.
Yeah. I'm also not aware of how much money Powder has, or Praz has, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I head back to the ship to await some form of communication before judging how long. I'm not quite sure how long I'm going to be waiting, but I'm going to be waiting.
So yeah, I'll go grab my 100 credits if Powder hasn't spent them, and buy 3 suits for the 3 meat bags that need oxygen and things like that. It's little things.
Can you buy mag boots on their own?
While you guys continue to triage item purchases.
Yep.
We're gonna go back to Lux.
Okay.
You've got a gun pointed at a door.
Uh-huh.
Hmm. Well, I'm not the only person with a vested interest in you, and not everyone is eager to see you just a mindless soul at the moment.
Oh, wait, are you saying that you have someone you have to answer to right now?
No, I'm saying that someone is in control of this ship.
Uh-huh.
And I need you to make me a different from the previous one's difficulty of 3. No, wait. How difficult is difficulty of 4? Not resolve, the resilience.
Okay.
As having seen this from the outside, you sort of recognize that same gas that they used to put Sen out.
Sucks when it's happened to you, doesn't it?
You guys couldn't have done anything that gave me a light side point to spend?
Nope.
They didn't roll dice.
I can try to haggle.
Please don't.
I know.
Nope.
I'm pretty generous, but I'm not likely to spend a dark side point on you haggling. Lux,
That's a big no.
you can sort of feel yourself getting dizzy and your consciousness fading. It's getting a little harder to hold the gun steady. Seems like they've had an answer. It's just so cathartic to see you in this position. You essentially do have a round.
Okay.
This is such compelling audio. You sound of
Right.
strolling wheels.
This is
Sorry,
The
I'm
sound of
sinking.
stress and turning wheels.
I mean, I understand that that's trying to fill space, but that actually makes it harder for me to think.
Yeah, no, we're not doing it.
All right, I'm going to make one last ditch effort to find the panel in the door. By taking the knife, the vibro knife, stabbing it in somewhere, and basically running along the length of the room until I hit door.
Okay.
I'm not trying to dig it in deeply. I'm not going into the actual like armored bulkhead part.
Mm-hmm. You're just trying to
the
find like
paneling,
where there's a seam. Yeah. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna say, yeah, you sort of drag the knife around and you manage to hit just a little ding, and you're like, okay, you found like the edge of where the door is.
Do you want to get the door open?
Okay.
With my combination of what mechanical skills I have and what computer skills and what skullduggery skills and
this is breaking through a door. It's going to be skullduggery.
Okay. Better than my mechanic. Oh no, it's the same as no, it's better than my mechanics.
And I will flip a dark side point.
I feel like it's important for me to flip that back, but I won't.
It's up to you whether or not you would like to flip it back.
Difficulty.
If it helps you, getting out of the room didn't help me once the gas hit.
Difficulty of 3.
Okay.
The door was also open when they gassed you.
Yep.
I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that light side point for you guys. Yeah,
You're
that light side
trying
point
to like pry off a bit of the panel with your knife so you can like get in and rewire it. But these doors were built to be pretty resistant.
Okay. That's fine. Oh, you motherfucker.
Yep.
Yeah, No, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not even going to say anything. Go down fighting wherever the camera is. Go down like that. Double bird.
Right. And as you do, you jolt awake somewhere else.
Okay.
And you can now see him, where previously you could only... He had his character sheet up just a second ago. Well, previously you could only hear Korvik. Now you can see him.
Mm-hmm.
He looks nothing like the husk of his body necessarily.
No, he's like body jumping or some shit.
Yeah, something like that. In a well-furnished room that, while you can't quite place it as somewhere you've ever been, is very nostalgic. It's almost somewhere you could have been with him at some point, just more abstract and dreamscape.
Okay.
He looks put together, very angry. It's not hard to tell. And his eyes seep blood.
You look better.
Maybe I have.
So where are we?
The same place we were. just with your mind a little more open, so a little more can drip out.
Oh, I'm sure there are some very angry people right now, and that makes this all worthwhile.
They did seem rather upset.
I bet they were.
But this works for me too. Because now I get you without the inconveniences of you running around trying to shock yourself on every available bit of equipment.
Yeah. It was an adventure. So are we now going to play the "this is all my fault" game and not the "we both made choices" game? Because one of those is a fun game and one of those is a true game.
I know you remember how you were. You just spoke and people followed. People trusted you almost implicitly. No. You shaped them into whatever was convenient.
You know, honey, you can make all of those justifications to yourself. I'm sure you've had that time. But you chose to do something good. Whether you... a hopeless good, but a good. If you're angry, there is a lot that you can be angry at me about over how all that all turned out. But you certainly do not get to pretend that you didn't make those choices on your own.
Maybe they were my choices. But you left me vulnerable.
Yes,
you
I
left me. You betrayed me.
You're not wrong. If it helps, no, there's nothing I can say. And I'm not expecting there to be.
And then you went off to have little adventures and convince yourself that you'd found some sort of optimism.
Not really.
Do you know what they did to me?
No.
They took all of those little handholds you carved in my mind. And they pulled. They pulled. And until they could just carve out whatever wasn't convenient. Dump it in a little jar. And then you wandered into that little jar.
I'm going to say it again. I didn't make you do anything. I was much further gone than you were in the not giving a shit about anybody.
And I did try and help you.
Yes, you did. That's exactly what I'm saying. I didn't put any handholds in there. In fact, pheromones, or having pheromones or not, it's more the reverse. You're the one who had who did some influencing. So this is what they took was nothing that I put there. That's all I'm going to say about that. Anyways, good. Feel free. You feel betrayed. I understand. Whatever you plan to do, you deserve. You have every right to do. So let's just get on with it. Because all this is doing is that we're tormenting each other. And I'm sure you'd much rather this be one-sided than two.
I am supposed to pull certain things out of you, aren't I?
Oh, I'm sure. Let's see. If you ask, I will gladly tell you most of what you wanted, most of what they want to know. I lied to their face about the cloaking technology, and they fell for it because they're idiots. I don't know where the rest of the crew. I don't know where the rest of the crew is. In fact, they are on a new ship I don't know the transponder codes for, and I don't have any information, even if I wanted it, about where to find them.
Out of curiosity, does Lux remember where they were supposed to meet up?
I will put it this way. I did not until last week when they got there.
That's fine.
Lex
I was
the
just
pilot.
trying to.
She was focused on a lot of other things, so I would guess no.
Okay. That would have been amusing. You would have been the one to be.
I have absolutely no good information. So this will actually be good for you, Korik, because you get to tell somebody probably above the people that did this to you that they let a Jedi go on nobody's word except for a traitor's.
The benefits of being a thought reading machine. I just output results.
Sweet. Oh, they're gonna be so angry. I'm excited for this.
I mean, best guess they know that he'll come back for you. Again.
Maybe. He is that dumb.
He's that used.
Is that dumb? Funny story. I can't really use my stuff on him, and if I tried, and I never have.
Just because you haven't used your talents doesn't mean you haven't just. And at that point, you feel you aren't necessarily able to physically defend against it here.
Yes,
you
that's
feel
fine.
another of those wave pulses.
How much
And
strain
instead
do I
of raw anger, it's just this very clear, piercing sense of trust and not necessarily obedience, but I will do what you ask, or I will follow you and try and help you.
Okay.
And then that just ripping apart.
Uh-huh.
To raw betrayal and realization.
Okay.
And you do take another strain.
Yeah. So that
Felt
leaves
it
her
was easier to
reeling.
illustrate.
She goes quiet.
And you can see Lux, like, sort of, you just sort of look down, and you notice that there's blood on the floor where there wasn't before. And you sort of reach up and realize that you're bleeding. Just a little
Wait,
bit.
am I not cut? Am I not strapped down?
No, in this dreamscape, you don't seem to be.
Oh, okay.
You have enough awareness that your physical body is unconscious to be unsure whether or not you were also
Okay.
physically bleeding IRL.
Right.
But definitely within this particular illusion, you seem to be bleeding.
Okay.
My dog is currently trying to run a circuit. I apologize.
Your dog is very cute, just with the little tail that occasionally comes by.
Yep.
And Team Rescue.
I mean, team fuck shit up, really, at this point.
Team,
Team
let's go that way.
Akundalar is the other one.
I'm waiting in the I'm waiting in the cockpit, just staring at the comm array.
As much as you stare at it, it doesn't light up at this time.
Powder will bring him water.
There's now like 3 glasses of water on the counter that haven't been touched.
I will go get my 100 credits from Powder and go buy the spacesuits and then put those in a spot that I can find somewhere nearby that we could use them on the ship. And walk over to Sen and say, okay, so what exactly happened?
Plan worked.
So you got him off the planet.
As far as I know. He's not in Imperial custody. Lux is.
When did Lux... How do you know that Lux is in Imperial custody?
Because she gave herself up in exchange for me.
So
After I told her not to.
Were you in Imperial custody and they traded?
Yes. I tug at one of the various blaster holes in my outfit. I was the distraction. I did my job.
Yeah.
Speak sense, Zabrek. Speak sense to the man.
Do you have any idea where you were you still on Ionis when you were captured?
Yes.
Okay. You realize how long it takes to get here from there?
Yep.
And we had an idea of where Rerun was, and we still didn't catch it. Catch him, yeah.
For our podcast listeners, there's a quick intermission.
Yep.
I had to speak to my wife. All right. That's why I need information. I say, pointing at the comm link that still hasn't fucking answered.
What? I'm all for trying to bust her out. How? What do you think they're going to be able to find out?
Find out? Nothing. That's not the point. That's not what they do.
What are you hoping from them besides just information?
All I want
How-
is for them to point me in a direction.
Okay. So if she was captured, how do you know that he got how he got off planet?
Because I'm
Or got away.
hoping that Lux was smart enough not to offer both him and her as a bargaining chip for just me.
For those listening, I have my thumbs up at the moment.
And what
if
might
she-
be described as a shit-eating grin?
And if she,
Basically.
if she wasn't, then we need to get him away from them too.
Okay.
Now, as far as I'm pretty confident the plan worked. We just never accounted for ourselves in the plan.
Yeah. Yeah, with us having a bust out here, I'm starting to think we should have just done it as a group. I think the odds would have been better, but
They probably would have been, but we weren't in a position where we could really make that call.
yeah. All right, well, sitting here staring at that isn't going to do anything. We'll get the alert ship wide, so they got some tools here. We can fix up some of the shit while we're in here, so that when they do give us information and point us in a direction, we can go and this thing won't rattle apart, leaving.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, busy
I'll-
work is better.
I will grab tools and start fixing, and probably very quickly go, who the fuck tried to saw through the bulkhead doors?
No, that's the first thing I fixed.
You made as much effort as you could to fix it, but
Yeah. 2 successes worth.
unfortunately, Sen is very ship oriented.
That was there when we got that.
Roll me a deception.
I wholeheartedly planned on rolling that.
The problem is, I think Sen functionally knows that's not true because we went through and did an itemized list of everything.
Yep, that's about. Wait,
That
no,
is-
I didn't get right. I didn't get the right.
For our
What was the
people,
difficulty? I forgot to ask.
difficulty 3 would be accurate.
Then yeah.
Though
I
you
got every
wouldn't
single
typically have a
failure.
boost die, but whatever.
No, I do. For Zabrak things, I don't remember what. I got it
Technically,
for.
you could have had one more failure.
Yeah,
you could
I
have
could have.
Hey, 5 failures. That is.
That
That is a thing that happened.
5
Yeah,
out of
no.
6.
I
Would lie
I
again.
sort of look over at Prez. I did the onboard inspection.
Yeah, well, you missed it.
You missed the giant scar welding.
That has
down.
been like sort of half put back together.
Yep.
Powder will just walk through. It was the droids and walk off the ship.
That's not more specific.
At this point, Darius comes by. Hey, I'm here to help fix the. Oh, hi. You're back. Is Lux back?
Get ready for the saddest conversation that has ever been had.
We're gonna have to explain to this that his
The word you're looking
sugar
for is
mama
not
died.
yet.
So as he asked this, all of you just sort of see Sen deflate.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. I'll come back and fix that later. I am Press. I'm also going to upgrade that, so in the future, if you have to do that again, it'll be easier.
That's.
I just grab my tools and start working.
Okay.
And Powder is going to go wander the market a bit.
Okay.
Because there's not much they could do on the ship.
Yeah. There's everything you could think of, and probably a lot of things that didn't occur to you existed. Including someone selling a cow as though it is an exotic creature from an unknown world.
Ah, yes.
Hey.
We've reached the Voltron reference level.
I'm sorry, did you not think we were there already?
Just going alphabetically.
Powder's just going to kind of like wander the market and see if anything catches their eye. Because at this point, Praz has taken back the 100 credits.
There's weapons, there's armors, there's that same information broker you passed before, and other things you suspect are similar.
If you have 100
there's
credits,
medical supplies.
They're actually going to go look at the weapons.
Okay. This person has a huge selection of varied options, even some things that you wouldn't typically be able to find. Well, what can I do for you? What would you like to purchase today?
I do not know what I can use. And he'll just kind of lift the three-pronged hand and the needle.
Well, that's an interesting conundrum, and he'll sort of like mess with your hand. Certainly, we have many for droids such as yourself and other species that don't have the number of advantages may be expected of a human. His sort of bug-like eyes don't quite roll because a little hard to roll compound eyes, but the impression is the same.
They either can't roll or are always rolling.
Unless they have the praying mantis little black dots focus, and that just sort of like travel upwards. Yeah.
Yep. I do not have many credits to spend.
Well, sure, we can get you something cheap.
I would
Are you
also
looking for something
concealable.
Sealable. Well, we have this, and he'll point to a truncheon. It's not the easiest to conceal, but it does fold down, and it is rather tiny, but it doesn't work. It doesn't shoot things. And of course, if you're looking for a one-time option, we have grenades, but those you use and then poof, they're gone.
I think not.
We certainly have a number of different types of pistols, though those do run a little more expensive, of course. And he'll pull out a light blaster pistol that the grip is a little bit different from a typical blaster, and it's got like leathering on the side of it. This would typically be 300, but modified for unconventional grip. It's around 350.
What do you have that is less? I was only given a little over 100 credits. Should I roll deception on that?
Okay. Yes. Yes. Against the shopkeep, roll deception. You've got a setback die because of the thing that rivals can do.
Okay. What's the difficulty on that?
Difficulty of 2.
Awesome.
Which is opposed by his roll, but I'm just making the roller because...
2 successes, 2 threat.
Okay. 2 successes and 2 threats, Hill. Of course, ma'am, of course. Or sir, whatever.
It doesn't even phase.
Yeah.
No response.
Well, there really isn't much in terms of blasters that run terribly cheaper than that I could help you find. Let's see. He'll sort of ruffle through the back of his inventory. I suppose I could show you this. And he pulls out like a bit of a weird contraption. It's a little bit of an improvement on the common net in that it has a trigger.
That seems a bit rudimentary.
Well, if you have little to spend, you have little to buy.
What else do you have in the blasters?
He'll pull out a few more blasters. Where's the no. And he'll basically rattle off prices, the standard prices. You can get a blaster rifle for $900, blaster carbines $850.
Does he have a holdout blaster?
He does, which would be $200.
That's the one that Powder will kind of stop at.
Bit of a rudimentary choice, but I suppose that was the aesthetic we were going for. All right. That would be... Oh, I'm sorry. It seems to be $200. I understand you're on a budget, but no exceptions.
Will the shopkeep allow Powder to pick up the gun?
Shoot him in
To
the
see if they
head.
can actually pick it up?
Yeah, it's not loaded.
Yeah, that's fine. Powder isn't going to try and kill the dude. It's more of the, can I actually pick this up?
You pick it up. It's a little bit odd in your hand because this one is clearly designed for like humanoid fingers. For a little more, we could find something a bit more custom. But again, if this is already outside of your price range. I know you're making an illustrative point. Unfortunately, droid hands are not human hands with 2 fingers tucked behind.
Yeah,
I'm just seeing how uncomfortable it actually is.
To hold with 3 fingers?
Yes, yeah, it's quite uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Especially when you actually have to fire it and have recoil and stuff.
How much would it be to customize?
That would add another 50, 60 credits on top and might make it otherwise more challenging to customize.
Is there... I'm sure Powder would have no clue if there's any way to do it for cheaper.
No, Powder, you just don't have the experience or the specialties. And, like, you could purchase it and see if one of your group could modify it for cheaper than that.
Yeah, that's probably what they're going to do.
But he seems pretty confident that his prices are essentially market standard.
Yeah. I will take this one.
Very well. Excellent choice. And do you get it unmodified or?
Unmodified, because I only have
Okay.
210 credits, so I
All right.
have literally
So
just
you
enough
pay
to buy
200
it.
for the weapon.
I have 10 credits left.
You stow it or?
Oh yeah, it's immediately going into the stomach cavity. I'm assuming bullets are extra. Now I have to figure out how to add that to my character sheet of how to
It's in
have gun.
combat section.
Yep, combat section.
Yep.
Okay.
Combat section, weapons, add weapon.
Got it.
And all of the stats for that item are in the book. You can
I already
use
have the
it
page
without
up.
any penalties for being a droid. However, it is inconvenient and a little more unwieldy.
Yeah.
Sen, at this point, your screen lights up with an incoming message.
I answer.
Just a short recorded message. Come by and lists off a long room number. You asked for information.
I will cut it off and head out.
Okay.
I'm just calling to Praz, watch the ship.
Where the hell are you going?
Got a call. And I'm heading there.
Yep. You again pass by these rooms that you are familiar with from the previous time you were on Crossroads. Many of them have guards from the Crossroads organization itself out front. Some also carry their own guard. The door you arrive at, the individuals who are staffing it look you over, let you on in. Inside, there's a decently lit space. It almost looks like it used to be half of a bar that just got chopped off and put in this room. There's a lady behind the counter, or just sort of putting away a few glasses that waves to you as you come in, and sitting at the only bar table in this place, actually. There's a woman who you actually recognize from the rebellion group you came up to. He's wearing almost a ruffled Western dress with a weapon sort of openly slung at her side. Sort of gives you a nod, salute over her drink. Sit. Order what you want.
I sit and I don't order anything. I do, however, as I'm sitting, just to make this clear that I don't carry this for show. I take the point of strain and move my lightsaber from my belt to the table without touching it.
Well, that was going to be my first question. You are one. You didn't kill one. Interesting.
Yeah.
Take another sip of her drink.
And I need to know if you guys have any idea where our Imperial overlords would take someone like me once having captured them.
That'll depend a bit. Sort of figured that might be what it is. You lost a youngling Padawan thing?
Partner, but yeah.
we know about a few bases. Some of them have been in service since we can remember, and some of them, the Jedi were always kind of secretive. Yeah. But in terms of places we know are active, there's obviously a few holding facilities. We intercepted some whispers about new tech that they were putting in place, but no confirmed reports, and we don't even know what it would do.
I can tell you a little bit about that. They have some sort of room that dampens force powers. It seems to be portable. They had one on a ship that they had me on, and another one, I think, on the ship that my partner is on.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cylindrical room, no lights, security cameras in the ceiling. It just sort of dampens everything, reinforced, I presume. And they can gas you while you're inside.
Trying to remember how to pronounce this word. Sorry. This is the problem with using canon places in my campaign. Familiar at all with Lola Sayu?
Am I?
Roll me a education or knowledge outer rim check, whatever is better, with a boost die for being a Jedi.
They are all the same. We'll go with education. Difficulty 2?
Difficulty of 2, yeah.
1 success and 2 advantage.
You have heard the name before. It is... You never actually heard the name in your formal education as a Jedi, but as you were active during pieces of the Clone Wars, is the location of a Republic, then Confederacy, then Empire prison known as the Citadel, which essentially was designed in ancient times to hold Jedi.
Yeah, ancient Jedi prison.
We have some reason to think that they might use it again.
Okay.
It's not escape-proof anymore. Hats off to whatever fucker managed that. But
so
ancient Jedi prison on a poisonous, dangerous planet that's challenging to even fly onto, with life detection, all the...
So let me lay this out on the table. You guys don't have to help me any more than just giving me this information. But if you do, and if I return from this, I will swear whatever oath you guys want for your club and put me in your colors or whatever. I'll be on your side. You can take pictures of me and run me up a goddamn flagpole for all I care.
At least ask for a signing bonus.
Signing bonus is you.
No, that's his salary.
I've got a ship. I've got a crew.
I am more valuable than just a signing bonus. Thank you very much.
I've got a ship that needs repairs, and I've got a crew that is willing but not necessarily able. And there's someone I need to get out of this.
All right. What do you need?
Well, any information that can possibly be gathered about this place. Some extra equipment, because I feel like I'm going to get shot, would be helpful. They took all of my good stuff, he says, indicating his bullet-ridden outfit. Or his blaster-ridden outfit. And any backup that would be willing to potentially break out at least one, if not more than one prisoner.
I can round up some people willing to take on a near suicidal mission. Just don't want to put them in risk, put them in danger. Look, I don't know a ton about this place, but I know that if your friend is there, this place, they took 3-4 Jedi Masters to break out of last time if anyone managed it. Not going to be easy.
I don't suppose you guys have 3 or 4 Jedi Masters hanging around somewhere playing poker, do you?
I don't suppose that I'm going to tell you because you proved you can force wave your lightsaber around.
That's fair.
No,
it's okay because their team is
I
going to
don't
be.
have several Jedi Masters to hand over on
It's
a
fine,
suicide mission for someone that, no offense, might not actually exist.
Their team is going to be this young rebellious woman, a droid, guy who thinks he's a Jedi and just chants this thing constantly.
So far, you've only described us.
You're not wrong.
Someone went, I won with the Force recently.
I did, and the Force is one with me. Also, freebie. I don't personally remember, but Sin would definitely never forget the information about the Jedi younglings that were hidden away.
Yes.
He just basically relays that something else we've heard out because I don't know if I'll be able to help them at this point. And pass what information he does about there were Force potentials that survived Order 66. They were given into foster care of a rebellious leader. I don't remember what a Confederacy leader. And what information I have about that. You guys, I might die, but if you guys could see your way to helping these kids out, or at least making sure they're safe, I'd appreciate that. Because they deserve to live a life and not have all of this shit collapse down on top of them.
She sort of looks her papers over, thinks about it. Well, and then clicks to calm. What do you think, Spectre 2? Yeah. Okay. We'll see who we can get to. I can send out a request. I can't promise anything.
That's fine.
I'm glad someone eventually gets a reference I make. Jeremy, you're muted.
Listen, I may not be caught up, But I report on the damn thing. I should know what that means.
Don't worry, if you don't, none of you would know in character for any reason. Yeah. Well, when are you doing this?
As soon as my ship is able to fly and I have solid information.
We could help you out with that, definitely, if nothing else.
I appreciate it.
No.
He sort of leans back and just, again, deflates. Like this stress that has been keeping him on edge, slightly abating.
There's at least 5 glasses of water next to you. You're good.
That's back at the ship.
Somehow Powder has apparated. No, comedically, Powder has sort of apparated into this space to, like, ask the barkeep for water and just shot glasses of water.
You're going to get up out of the booth, turn around, and the floor is just going to be glasses of water everywhere.
What the fuck?
Like, it's a senior prank.
And
What's that?
take my advice. If you're going to go on a rescue mission, eat something. Sleep. Rest. Whatever the fuck you need to do. Meditate.
He sort of looks at her. Yeah. Gets up. Grabs a lightsaber, hooks it on his belt. Wanders out.
Yep.
You know,
She'll wave
you
you
know
good-
how to get me.
Yep.
Head back to the ship.
And yeah, you and Powder probably arrive back at the ship around the same time. Darius has sort of continues to avoid liability,
Poor
I
bastard.
guess.
That poor kid.
Yeah.
Lux can't die because then we'll have nothing to do with this guy.
Go back to the cockpit.
What are you talking about? Who do you think I'm playing if I die?
Oh my god, that'd
You
be
can
amazing.
totally
I
do that, but
legitimately-
he does have a written up backstory.
I legitimately have no idea who I would play. Who I will be playing.
I go to the cockpit and I hit the ship-wide comms. Everyone get up here. Including you.
Yeah, I know I'm part of everyone. I'm coming.
I like how I didn't have to say a name.
Including you.
Oh, do you want the other droids too?
I don't care about them.
I'll bring them anyways, I guess.
Sounds good.
So
Powder was
Darius
some with a
arrives
bottle of
with,
water.
One incredibly frustrated droid, and one very happy to be here, guys.
I look at the incredibly frustrated one. If you want to leave, you can.
I already tried telling him that.
Marvin the
what's the-
astromech.
I was promised a beach.
He was. We must find him a beach.
Oh, did you make a deal with him?
I will find you a beach.
Yeah, we'll find you a beach. Why not?
One hell of a beach. All right.
Indeed.
Ascen is like, let's go to Tatooine, bury the droid in the middle of the sand.
All right, here's your beach.
Beach
Yep.
requires water.
There's water on Tatooine.
There's moisture
There's
farmers
moisture
on Tatooine.
Yes.
Close
Yeah.
enough.
No.
Um,
No,
Pour a
it
little
isn't.
water on the sand, you got a
everyone-
beach.
as everyone's-
Powder will hand Sen a bottle. You need to drink something.
I'll take the bottle. I don't open it. I just take it. So.
Shit, is that my whiskey? Did you just give him whiskey? No, I'm just
No.
kidding. No, I'm kidding.
Potter gave him water.
Yeah. So what's going on?
Lux was captured by the Empire.
Yeah, you told me that bit.
Just so that everyone knows. We have an idea of the rebellion forces have an idea of where she may be. They're going to give us a hand figuring that part out and getting her back. In exchange, I get to be their poster boy or whatever the fuck they want. So, once this ship gets back in order and we have all the information we need, we're going to a potentially entirely poisonous planet with a facility on it designed entirely with the purpose of holding and maintaining Jedi captive. Anyone who doesn't want to do this, we're at a place you can step off and find your way anywhere. But once the ship's fixed, that's my next destination. And he unscrews the top of the bottle and starts drinking.
Powder will look at Praz. I am good. Look back at Sen.
Yeah, I'm in.
Let's get Lux back.
I mean, it's not every day you get to plan something like this. And plus, we're 1 for 1 for hitting Imperial bases.
Technically 2 for 2. Our plan did
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
I don't know how long we have to plan, but I did have a thought.
Mm-hmm.
We need equipment. We have guns, but our ship is otherwise poorly outfitted. Even if we weren't going to secret Empire prison for Jedi place, we probably need to upgrade or at least get some more basic equipment.
We need money.
Our rebellion contacts are going to help us with the repairs at least, but yes, we definitely need to get upgraded.
I can find... I am very good at the one thing I can do. I can try and make some money while we're here. Powder, you can, if you wanted to, you could probably find a job. I don't, when I was wandering around earlier, I did see some sort of gladiator match fights. I don't...
Like fist fights? Fighting pits?
Seems like it's a variety of things. It's not like much is illegal here.
Yeah. But no firefights, just physical fights.
They might have those too. I've seen it before.
Yeah.
I would not... Yes, we need to make money. And I am not opposed to throwing myself into an arena to beat the shit out of some people for cash.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a while. I'm game for that too.
I am not a combat droid.
I think the indication was for you to offer your services as a medical droid to people.
Yeah, you might be able to part-time at a clinic.
Or back alley surgeon.
Or as a medic for a gladiator arena. There's definitely going to be hurt people there.
That's a good idea, Darius.
Yeah.
I said his name right.
Oh.
The first time Sid has ever said his name, and he said it right.
Lux is so proud of you. She won't hit you full strength for the plans you're making when you guys come back, or if you guys ever actually get to her.
Nice.
You had a worse plan.
No, my plan was better.
I mean, your plan didn't involve let's go to the Citadel with no Yeah, I'll
Lux's plan worked.
So will this?
Nothing
get
went,
on that.
Nothing went awry.
And we can just try and figure out how much we'll need.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave her there any more than anyone else does, but if we don't have the equipment or resources, it's not going to be.
No, we definitely need to prepare.
Yes.
As soon as I get
Darius.
some sleep. And he just sort of falls asleep in the chair.
Can I do a quick check of him and make sure he's actually
medicine
okay?
check. I'll flip a dark side point just
For my medicine
comedic-
check?
Yes,
Comedic effect.
I can do it on any check, just
Wow,
as you
all right.
can.
What would my difficulty on that be?
Difficulty of 2.
Okay.
Upgraded difficulty.
That would be
Oh,
a
shit.
success, a threat,
Send
and
die.
a despair. I don't think I've ever rolled a despair before.
I have.
Powder,
You
you're
jab
looking
a
over
needle
Zen,
straight in the
and
eye.
while you can't find any physical injuries, that kind of troubles you because now you don't know what's wrong, and it's probably some sort of chemical thing or internal injuries. Maybe it's internal bleeding, but if it's a brain thing, you should probably wake him up. But if it's like a lung thing, you probably shouldn't.
Powder's going to wake him up and help him to his room.
Okay.
High or low?
I just need to get
Hi.
first. I just need to get some sleep. Bam. Oh crap! You had an aneurysm.
As Powder sort of tries to goes to start to shake him awake, the lightsaber comes up and ignites. Doesn't hit anything, but just as a warning sign.
Powder will just look at you and say, "Go to your room. Be comfortable."
Don't touch me while I'm sleeping.
If you're threatening me, you are not sleeping. Go to your room and be comfortable.
Disengages the lightsaber. And then gets up and goes to his room. Which actually gets up, looks around. I don't have a room.
Yes, you do,
Yeah, you
and Powder will help you to your room.
There's no furniture in this place.
There was a bed. Wasn't there one room that was kitted out?
There is no furniture in this ship.
Pick a spot. Throw down your coat. You got a bed right there.
I mean,
There
we
is
moved
a
some
room
of our
that has
stuff
some
in.
furniture.
Yeah.
It's called the cockpit and the pilot's chair.
Yeah. We moved
Alright.
we moved
Jeremy?
our equipment in, but we didn't move any of the furniture because the furniture's all part of the ship.
I mean, speak for yourself. I'm pretty sure there's a hammock sitting around somewhere.
Oh yeah, Lux moved her stuff, but Lux had more furniture because Lux was living in an escape room.
Yeah.
Pod.
Yes. Lux set up a much more comfortable room than the base rooms are.
Then Powder will bring you to Lux's room
Oh,
because that's where the bed is. How's that for salt in the wounds?
No.
That's a terrible idea.
He
That's
sits
horrible.
back down in the captain's chair, turns it around, kicks his feet up, and goes back to sleep.
There you go.
Powder escorts you to Lux's room. You turn around and go back and plant down in the captain's chair.
Fine. And Powder will put 2 bottles of water next to you for when you wake up.
Jesus. How do we have so much
There's
water?
there's 7 cups and 3 bottles of water next to him.
As there's this really comedic level of water around Sen.
Think of the movie Signs. Imagine that.
You are
Just cups of water everywhere.
I'm concerned about your aquaholism.
Yeah.
Oh, slow clap for
That is where we're
Jeremy.
going to end for the night.
Oh,
Say goodbye, everyone.
good.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.